Arnold, the guys that get a lot of credit is Steve Blackman from Muscular Development. I mean, those guys have done an extraordinary job for years and years and years to promote health, to promote fitness, to promote strength, to promote bodybuilding, powerlifting, weightlifting, and all of those kind of things. So the contributions they made is gigantic, and I hail them for that.
Ron Harris here from MuscularDevelopment.com, wrapping up day one. Tonight was the finals here at the Arnold Classic Weekend in Columbus, Ohio. Coverage brought to you by High Tech Pharmaceuticals. Here with Giles Tiger Thomas, my partner in crime and coverage. And we're going to tell you how it all went down tonight. We had finals for several divisions. Fitness International had a huge upset. Typically when the reigning Olympia champ goes into any other show, it's an easy win. But this did not happen tonight. Whitney Jones, second place, new champ, Rael Graber from Canada. Now, you were paying more attention to the routines because I was busy trying to take pictures, which is a fruitless task with fitness. But how do you think she edged her out?
Well, a routine. It was fantastic. Yeah, I said on the play-by-play, I said she's next level. Because I wasn't really aware of her, because I don't really follow the fitness that much. I know who Whitney Jones is, I know who some of the other girls are, but I wasn't actually that familiar. But she actually retired tonight. That was her 42nd pro show, and apparently she's done something like 13 Arnolds. Her and Arnold were
16.
talking. Her and Arnold have been talking afterwards. She's done many different Arnolds. She's a very seasoned competitor. Sorry, I should
be holding that.
Yeah, very seasoned competitor, and she was absolutely fantastic. What a fantastic champion. I hope she doesn't retire though, or maybe does another year. Maybe does the Olympia. I mean,
she sounded like she was pretty dead set on it.
Yeah, I was listening to her being interviewed here before, and she was pretty adamant that she's going to retire.
Yeah. Figure International, no huge surprise here. Top five was a very good top five. We had Bojana Vasiljevic from USA, fifth. Natalia Soltero from Mexico in fourth. Third place, Jessica Reyes Padilla. Could have been a little higher, probably. Who knows? Nadia Wyatt in second. And no surprise at all for the champ, two-time Olympia winner, Sydney Gillen, who I just interviewed. I mean, she's tough to beat. She's just very, very tough to beat. Yeah.
Do you remember the 2017 Olympia?
Yes.
Yeah, and I was. I think you and Steve had Candice. Maybe I think one had Candice, one had Latoya, and I went, no, Sydney Gillen. Yeah. It's that quarter turn. She's just. To me, I've spoken about her many times on these wrap-ups and the Olympias and the Arnolds, and she's just the perfect embodiment. She's like she's been drawn. Yeah. But she looked absolutely sensational tonight, still as good as ever. And I did have Jessica Reyes Padilla. I had her second, but I could tell by the judging that she was going to get third place. Yeah. So I told her that before as well. So it was a fantastic figure class. I felt I agreed with the other placings. Yeah. And really good. Okay. Fantastic win for Sydney.
Moving on to women's physique, no surprise there. The youngster Natalia Abraham Coelho, Coelho. 22 years old, I think is how she is. Yeah. Former turned pro in figure. Always was told she was a little too muscular for figure. Was she second at the Olympia a few months ago too?
She was second at the Olympia last year to Shanique, and second at the Arnold Classic last year to Shanique.
Wow. So Shanique still has to be taken down by Natalia. So do you see that happening? I mean, how do they compare in your mind?
Well, Natalia is a completely different physique that she was last year. I felt that she really needs to bring her arms up. I just interviewed her like several minutes ago, and she's brought her arms up. And I felt like her conditioning was, I don't know what it was different, but it looked better. But better as in not, it was dry, but I don't know, she just had a bit of, I think maybe because she's got more muscle, a bit more fuller muscle now, it didn't look so, I think sometimes she could maybe in danger looking a bit stringy. Right. But she looked fantastic. I mean, Shanique's only, sorry, I keep going for the mic. Shanique is 23, Natalia is 22. How are these girls so good, so young?
I have children. I have a daughter older than both of them, so this is crazy to even think that.
I've got socks that old.
Yeah, I got sneakers out. So this brings us to the final division that we're going to talk about. The main highlight for a lot of people on the MD forums, classic physique. And we had no huge surprise. I've been watching George Peterson. He sends us so many updates. His coach Justin sends me videos that we post up. I knew he was going to be the man to beat because he's been third place at Olympia 2 years in a row. The only guys who've been beating him are Breon Ansley and Chris Bumstead, neither of which were in the show. So George, pretty good lock for the show. You had him clear winner the whole time too?
I had him a clear winner 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he's got probably the best back in the IFBB. He had the best condition in the class. He had the most amount of muscle. I was talking to him just there, and he was saying that, talking to Justin actually, and Justin said, I said, what's his limit then for his class? He said, it's 192 pounds. He said he weighed in at 189. Wow. He said by tonight, though, he was probably 197.
Yeah.
But to me, he looks like he's 210, 215. I mean, just stood there. I was just looking at him there. Just stood. I mean, is he still there?
He'll be 215 by Monday.
He's still there now. Yeah, he's. I mean, I just looking at the muscle bellies and it's not just muscle bellies. It's actual thickness. Yeah. It's not like an illusion. He is big. Yeah. He's big. He's thick. His legs are big. His back's. He's stacked with muscle. He would probably place top 6 in any 212 lineup.
Yeah. Now we also have to give special mention to runner-up Steve Loris, because this guy he's on the rise. In terms of structure and shape, he was the best man on stage. He's got a tiny little waist, this crazy bicep peaks, thigh sweep. He's got everything you would want to see. Condition is probably where he lost to George, but Steve is someone to watch. I think with improvements, with better condition, a little better posing and stuff, I think he's going to be the man. He might be the man to beat in a year or two.
I was so excited and so looking forward to seeing Steve because I'd never seen him in the flesh on the stage, and I wasn't disappointed. Absolutely fantastic. Fantastic. I was just talking to Steve there about the guy's arms and his back, and I don't think he hits his back poses properly though. I think he scrunches up a bit. I think he needs to open them up a bit. But I mean, in terms of actual classic, he is probably more classic than George Peterson. So I could have seen it actually going either way, especially tonight. I was actually thinking, if this is judged more on like a classic criteria, and the way he hits his pose and the way he angles his body and the way his body is put together, I wouldn't have actually disagreed that if he'd have won.
Yeah. I mean, he's, like I said, I see him, if he makes those improvements, I see him winning a lot of smaller shows and definitely pushing these guys at the Olympia and the Arnold for the next few years.
He'll be top 6 at the Olympia.
The rest of the top 5 were no slouches. Courage Opara looked great.
I had him 4th.
Keone Pearson was 4th, a young guy. And rounding out top 5, Khaled Chikawi from Canada, also making tremendous improvements. Really good top 5. I think even though we had the Olympia champ competing last year, Breon, I think the depth was more consistent this year from first to fifth.
Absolutely. So. No, actually, Khalid for me was probably the biggest surprise of the show. I mean, I thought he looked even better tonight, and I was so impressed with his thickness and his conditioning, and his posing was fantastic. He really burned in my mind. He's kind of like Courage Opara really stuck in my mind last year. And Khalid this year, I can see Khalid winning numerous classic shows, and I could maybe see him, maybe top 6 for the Olympia.
Why not?
But I would have had Keone 3rd.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so that wraps up day 1. Tomorrow is the big day. There's several more divisions, but of course the one everyone's going to be looking forward to is the Open. We got all kinds of things. What if questions? Is Rolly Winkler going to look great after that guest posing fiasco 2 weeks ago? Did he shed all that water and fat? We'll find out. We'll see how all these guys look. Tomorrow we're going to see the rest of the divisions. We got bikini, men's physique, wheelchair, and open bodybuilding. It's going to be awesome. So stay right here on musculardevelopment.com. Got all the interviews. We got the stage photos, paparazzi pics, all kinds of stuff. You don't need to go anywhere else. We will see you tomorrow. For Ron Harris, Giles Tyler Thomas, musculardevelopment.com. Coverage brought to you by High Tech Pharmaceuticals. Stay here.
One of the guys that get a lot of credit is Steve Blackman from Muscular Development. I mean, those guys have done an extraordinary job for years and years and years to promote health, to promote fitness, to promote strength, to promote bodybuilding, powerlifting, weightlifting, and all of those kind of things. So the contributions they made is gigantic, and I hail them for that.